Hi everyone, welcome to another YouTube video on my channel or another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Julie Ann Fay and I'm a certified angel card reader and a professional astrologer. On this channel I do pick a cards and I also sometimes share astrological updates. I also do a ton of updates on my blog, so make sure that you go to the description box of this video and you subscribe to my email newsletter where I give all the updates about my latest videos and blog posts, all that good stuff. So this is going to be a pick a card video, and this is going to be a pick a card video for the energy for the next 2 weeks. So we've just had this gorgeous full moon in Aries a couple days ago. We're now in that lunar cycle of the full moon in Aries. So we are definitely in this kind of supercharged power energy. We're still in Libra season, of course, and the full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other, right? So we have this energy that we're going to be integrating for the next 2 weeks, which is Aries energy, which is doing energy. It's about the divine masculine. It's about strength. It's about perseverance. So if you have strong Aries energy in your chart, or just Aries is an important energy to you, this is a very potent time for you to be harnessing the energy of Aries to do and achieve and grow and persevere, right? I know for me, the approach to the full moon in Aries was quite intense. The day before was really, really stressful for me. And typically also because we were in the final degrees of the Pisces moon at that time. And those final couple degrees of Pisces can be quite crazy making because Pisces rules, it's ruled by Neptune and it's related to illusion and disillusionment, so it can be quite crazy. So I know that the lead up to the full moon was really stressful for me, and then the actual day of the full moon was quite good, and I've been pretty good since. Interestingly though, this full moon was conjunct Chiron, which has been transiting in Aries for a while. So some of you, if you are being influenced more by Chiron, you might be feeling a little bit more wounded, with this energy. There could be some of that going on as well. I know for me, because although I'm a really strong Virgo, I have Jupiter in Aries, I have North Node in Aries, so this has been like a supercharged time for me since we started the full moon in Aries in this next lunar cycle of just like, whoa, like getting out there and doing lots of things. I've had like a crazy busy week. I was at a gem show by me, doing some shopping for myself as well as personal shopping for people, so I'm already wearing some of the treasures I got. My new golden sheen obsidian earrings, which are so special, and I've got a Mexican fire opal ring, and then a new piece of custom wire wrapped morganite and a coral bracelet here. I have lots of other treasures that I bought, but I don't want to like unload them all in one video, so step by step you guys will see. But some of the treasures I got, whew. So please make sure you're following me on my Instagram because I am doing some showing off of some of the pieces on my Instagram. It's at Julie Ann Fay Healing. And yeah, I'll definitely be showing them off in some videos. And also if I do some Facebook Lives, I might show them off. I got these spheres, which are like out of this world. I've never seen a crystal like this before. They're black tourmaline with orange and white inclusions. So they are, first of all, they're super appropriate for Halloween, but they look so incredible. I took some videos today in the sunlight and some pictures, and definitely will be sharing that on my Insta and wherever I can because they're just so gorgeous. So I actually want to start by tuning in with the Tibetan singing bowl. This is one treasure that I bought from the gem show. I got also this little holder for it. This is something that I've been wanting for a really long time. I saw it at the show last year and I really wanted it. And I decided to go with this design because interestingly enough, I learned while shopping for them, not all Tibetan singing bowls are as easier to work with than others. Some of them are harder to work with a little bit. And because I'm a novice, I'm still learning how to kind of get control of creating the sound and maintaining the sound. So I decided to go with this just really beautiful, just not painted and just kind of slightly larger sized metal one. I think the larger the size, it is actually easier to work with than some of the smaller ones. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. Of course, as you go larger in size, it gets increasingly more expensive, right? And the guy was teaching me how to do it, and I kept using the soft side of the little hammer, the little stick that you start it with, and we started chuckling because it's like, I didn't want to break the bowl, but you actually use the hard side when you do it. So I'm going to let us all tune in with the Tibetan singing bowl just to get us started. And I have also set up a sacred container before starting this video. So good. For me, it really helps with stress relief, and this is also tuned to the heart chakra, so it really helps you just connect into that heart space and just kind of release any residual or frantic energy you might have going on. So really love that. So I've got a couple of decks set up for us here. I want to go over what the decks are, and then I'm going to prepare the piles for us and get that set up. I've also got this is not a new treasure, I've had this treasure, but it's always one that I love taking out when we get to fall season, which is my pumpkin orgonite. So it's really cool. It's got orgonite, you know, carnelian, and it's made as an orgonite on the inside, but it's shaped like a little pumpkin. So I really love that. So the decks that I'm using, this is a new deck I bought called, well, this is what the book says, the Practical Witch's Pocket Guide, but it's super cute little spells, which are just like little recipes of varying sorts for different life areas. So I'm really excited to be using that. I've also got the Flower Therapy Oracle cards by Robert Reeves. I've got the Queen of the Moon. I'm sorry if this is a little jumpy. Let me see if I can fix that. Hold on. Okay, that should be a little bit better. I feel like I lost the good frame I had going on, but it's at least more stable. I've got Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. I have Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And I actually don't know who this is by. The author's name is not here on the cover. It just says Lawn on the bottom. And then I have two decks which I may use depending upon if I feel called. One of them is the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle, which is this really fun deck of different trees and different energies that they correspond with. And then I also do have a Betty Tarot deck there. So I'm gonna get the piles set up for us off camera. I'm gonna be arranging 3 piles, so you may even want to consider which energetic number do you want to tune into, 1, 2, or 3, and I will be right back. All right, so let's pick our piles. I've got the piles all set up. So this is the energy of pile 1. Heads up, the cards are mostly going to look the same, but you want to just tune into the energetic frequency of this pile. So does this pile call to you? Does it jump out to you, right? And if you're not sure, sometimes you are meant to hear more than one pile. A lot of times when I'm doing a reading for a particular pile pick, sometimes I even tell people, go back and listen to that other pile because there's something you need to understand there. So this is pile 1. Okay. This is pile 2. And this is pile 3. And if you need more time to pick a pile, just simply pause this video and just close your eyes, tune in. This is actually a great way for you to practice with your intuition as well and trust yourself, trust the kind of gut feelings you get. Another way I do it is if I don't feel like I'm really practiced with my intuition, so I can look at just like, you know, the cards like side by side and just really pick out really quickly which one I want. But another way to do it is to use the timestamps and just energetically which one of those timestamps calls to you. Sometimes you're drawn to like the top, the middle, or the bottom. You can do it that way as well. Okay. And then I'm gonna attempt to hold these up all at once here. So this is pile 1. pile 2, and pile 3. Okay, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I've picked a pile for myself as well, so I always like to play along at the same time as you guys. So without further ado, let's get into this. So let's look at the energy for pile 1 peeps, okay? These are the cards for you, pile number 1. So we've got from Stacey DeMarco, realization. We have gratitude in reverse. So this is the gratitude card, and it did come up in reverse. We've got simplify your life. You've had so much going on that you're spread too thin. This has to change now so your vitality can recharge, and that is with the daisy. We've had balanced friendships. Your friendships work best when there's an equal share of giving and receiving. This is the Gerbera or African daisy. Gerbera? I don't know how to say that. Gerbera daisy. And then we've got sacral chakra. I've been vibing on sacral chakra like whoa lately. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Sacral chakra there. Okay. And then you got a moon spell. Aren't these cards so cute? They're a mini deck, but I gotta tell you too. So this is a mini deck, and I also have their tarot deck, the Bitty Tarot, Mini Tarot. I bought a mini deck from a different company, and let me tell you, it is so mini. It's like I'm figuring out what to do with it. So you got a moon spell here. It says incantation for insight and inspiration. Perform this spell on a full moon night for full effect. Place 1 blue and 1 white candle on your altar. Light your favorite incense, one that stimulates your thinking. Scratch your name into the blue candle. For the white candle, scratch the name of someone who inspires you. Light your name candle and the incense and recite, "This candle burns for me." Light the candle of hope and say, "Here burns my hope for," and then that name. Sit with your eyes closed for a few minutes and picture yourself enacting your hope and desire. Let the candles burn completely for full charging. Love that. So these are, a lot of them are candle rituals that you can do, but there's all different types in this deck, essential oils and all different things. So let's kind of get deeper into this reading for you guys and see what this is about. We've identified what each card is. I am going to also pull from this Wisdom of the Trees Oracle for you guys. These cards are not as intuitive, so I will be referencing the guidebook for these because they're really meant to be kind of like stories in a way. So let's see, pile 1. What does pile 1 need to know? Okay, you got European beach. European beach. All right, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. It's funny, I kind of see a heart on the root there. Turn it upside down. Okay, so you guys, I feel called to, ooh, I can't do it that way, I guess. Like I said, I'm still learning. I feel called to do that again for you guys. So that was a really funny flop the first time. So you guys have realization here, card number 3, and then you do also have the spell here, the moon spell for incantation for insight and inspiration. And then you also have simplify your life. You have the card of balanced friendships here, and then you have gratitude in reverse. So I think what's going on with the people that pick this pile, you guys are overwhelmed. I think that there's maybe a lot that you're learning, possibly about yourself. It could very much be because we're in this Mars retrograde. Maybe this Mars retro is really affecting you, or just Libra season is a time in which you do a lot of reflection. But I think that you guys are learning a lot about yourselves right now. You know, this is card number 3, which is an Ascended Master card. So that's like spiritual tests, spiritual journeying. So I think that you guys are doing a lot of exploration right now. You're coming to terms with a lot. Like, whoa, I didn't realize that there's that part of myself. Or, whoa, I didn't realize that because I said that in that way, it hurt that person in that way. And maybe I need to adjust how I approach this in the future, you know? With this, you know, gratitude in reverse and balanced friendships. And it's interesting because the flower cards, a bunch flew out for people that picked this pile. In fact, I think you guys got the most cards out of the 3. So that just tells me energetically that you do have a lot of need. You have a lot of need for just like help and healing right now, you know? So do seek out the help as you can, whether that be potentially talking to someone like a therapist, or just, you know, if you want to look into getting a private reading with me. I do astrology readings, I do angel card readings, and I do soul coaching, which is when I combine the two. But I think that you guys you're in this phase where you're just learning a lot about yourself. But I think that part of it too is that you're trying to almost like figure out how to show up better in your relationships and how to be a better person, you know? And I don't want to say better person to imply that there's something wrong with you or that you're bad, because it's not that. It's just understanding how you use your energy and how you kind of like express yourself and how you communicate with others. There's something here where it's like, you're trying to access more of that in a very balanced and more holistic way, you know. I'm getting the sense of this kind of like tense or more frenetic energy with the people that pick this pile. So I think that you guys are actually wanting to work towards more balanced friendships and more balanced relationships. Part of this could be that you feel stuck or you feel potentially unappreciated with the friendships or relationships that do exist in your life, you know. One way to also work at changing that though is to really kind of start with self-love and look at, okay, what is it that I value about myself? Start there, right? What is it that I appreciate about myself? What is it that I value about myself? Okay. And how can I celebrate the things that I like to be valued about? How can I celebrate that in others? So if you want to receive more compliments, give yourself compliments. Give that medicine to yourself and then start practicing that medicine with others. Start complimenting people, you know. If you want to feel more appreciated, or that you're given more help or service by people, that people help you out, ask for that help, or, you know, see how you can get into that energy of giving and receiving and help and service. So play in this energy a bit, but I think you guys are a little bit blocked in the flow of like that giving and that receiving, and it could be because you're trying to do some healing here in terms of relationships and friendships, you know, to have these relationships be in a more balanced way. And you've got simplify your life here, you know, this daisy card. You've had so much going on that you're spread too thin. This has to change now so your vitality can recharge. So I think part of it might be that you're trying to like be all things and be the right thing for everyone, but that doesn't work. That works in short, like it works in the immediate, or like, oh yeah, like I'm doing what this person needs, but long term, how does that serve you, right? So sometimes in order to simplify our life, we might have to step into sometimes difficult conversations, say, you know what, this hurt me, or this affected me in this way, and I need to talk about it because it's affecting my ability to be in more balance, you know. So this can definitely be a simplifying your life in terms of just, I'm getting the vibe of approaching potentially difficult conversations that need to be had. But this can also just be like simplify your life, like if you have too much of things, like decluttering, clearing your space, getting rid of the old. That's going to really help you with those anxious feels to clean that ish up, you know. And you've got this spell here, which is really fun, about bringing in insight and kind of more inspiration and clarification. So work with the colors of white and blue, which bring in angel light and throat chakra energy. You can work with these in just the color itself, wearing that color, working with that color, working with flowers of that color, working with essential oils that correspond to that color, right? And what was I going to say? Crystals also that correspond to that color. In fact, I do have a blue calcite. Let me show you guys real quick. So this blue calcite, I'm actually selling this piece because I am also simplifying my life a little bit. I've brought in some new treasures and I want to kind of clear out some, they're not older treasures by any means, but they're just treasures that just I feel no longer resonating with, and I've got some new pieces I want to work with. So it's time to make some room. But this is a gorgeous piece of blue calcite. And blue calcite is an amazing stone for the throat chakra. So you could work with this by laying down, putting this on the throat chakra, or just as you're on a phone call or as you're messaging with someone or talking to someone, you could hold this, you know, this helps with this calming energy and also communicating. So I am selling this piece. If you're interested in it, you can email me at juliannefay@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram. To be honest, Facebook's not the best place to catch me because Facebook is insane. Like today I was on and I think that they said I had 28 new notifications, and I just looked at it and like 2 of them were actually relevant things for me to look at. So I do try and always check my Facebook business page inbox, but yeah, Facebook is just, I'm not a big fan of Facebook, to be honest. But anyway, so I am selling that piece. If you're looking for a blue crystal to work with, I am selling that, and you can contact me if you're interested. So yeah, so you guys need to work with more blues and whites to bring in peace, to bring in harmony, to bring in clarity. There's a need here for more communication, to have more balanced friendships and relationships. You do also have the sacral chakra card here, so you may also want to work with the color orange and stones that do correspond to the sacral chakra. Carnelian would be a really good one for that, you know. And I'm hearing incense too, just like very powerful scents, you know, could also be really helpful. This to me is just saying that you need to get back into your sense of personal power. You know, we do associate the solar plexus, right, which is one up from the sacral, which is yellow, with that sense of personal power. But for you guys, it's like that creative art, that like more of that sexual power. I think that that's really lacking for you guys right now, is just this like ability to apply yourselves creatively and really like feel a deepening of that personal power, right? So I think you guys are needing to also get creative about just like what you're doing in your life and bringing in that creative energy, you know? So let's look here at the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle. You guys had European Beach. And let's see what the guidebook says for that. Okay, European Beach. So it says, my wood has been used for centuries and my nuts provide food for animals. I hold on to some of my dead leaves each winter to give myself protection from the worst of the weather, and I will protect and sustain you too if you wish. The beech tree has been highly valued for centuries. I'm actually going to hold this up while I read this to you guys. The ancient Celts in France worshipped the god, I don't know how to say this, Fagus, F-A-G-U-S, which has since become the botanical name for the beech tree. Beech mast, which is the name given to the nuts that the tree bears each autumn, were traditionally fed to pigs to fatten them for market. The nuts can also be roasted and ground to make a coffee substitute, and oil extracted from them can be used in cooking. Beech was also used as a disinfectant and astringent in both Native America and Europe. Right way up, this is an excellent opportunity to add to your store of knowledge, particularly by reading books and listening to the wisdom of others. Let the beauty of the words and the depth of the experiences you hear about feed your soul. So good. So we can definitely see that this is very grounded energy. This is literally only focused on the roots of this tree. Other cards in the deck are not about just the roots. So for you guys, this is about grounding, but there's a message here about learning, which is coming through a lot with this realization card. So be surrounding yourself. I'm listening to an audiobook right now that I'm loving. Like I was waiting for it and I'm loving, loving, loving it. So be, you know, embracing that learning energy, which during Libra season, this is about learning, you know. Even as I was channeling the messages for this pile, I was thinking of things that I've learned and that I, you know, even I'm very like articulate, but even things I need to speak up more about and stuff like that. This is a very like communicative learning time for you if you pick this pile, okay? And I also was hearing Assertiveness for Earth Angels. So if you're not familiar with that book, it's a book by Doreen Virtue, which we don't really speak her name in the New Age community much anymore because she's gone on, abandoned us. But so usually if you see on my Insta posts, I just put her card decks as DV. So the DV, her works before she turned are still really great. You know, her works do live on, and she has a book that she wrote called Assertiveness for Earth Angels, which I'd highly recommend checking out because it talks about how to communicate and stand true to who you are as a sensitive individual. And it also even goes into things like diet and interpersonal relationships. It's a really great read about just being a sensitive in this world and understanding how to navigate difficult conversations and difficult energies, but in a way that doesn't compromise who you are, you know. So that's what I have for you, pile number 1 peeps. I hope that that was an enjoyable romp for you. I'd love it if you can like this video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how this reading resonated for you. And please also subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much. All right, pile number 2 peeps. These are the cards for you. So let's see what we've got here. We have allowance, and this is in reverse. We have, okay, if these are all, okay, they're not all reverse. We have cleanse your energy, and this is in reverse. We have a house spell, which is super fun. And then we have action. So good. I am feeling called to actually put these cards upright. Sometimes I do like to read reversals with decks that don't do reversals, but in this case, I'm going to do those upright for now. Let's get you a Wisdom of the Trees Oracle card as a little bonus here. Okay, we've got Black Elder there. Nice tea vibes to that card. And then I'm also going to pull a Biddy Tarot card for this pile because we did have a bit fewer cards here. So, bonus tarot message for pile 2. There we go. Too many. Oh, I guess I'll take them. No, I'm not vibing on those. Let's do that again. Pile 2 peeps. What do pile 2 peeps need to know? All right, I'm gonna just intuitively do it this way. Pile 2 peeps. What do pile 2 peeps need to know? Because these cards are so small, they do sometimes come out in weird ways. Okay, this one kind of wants to come out. It's interesting. So this pile, you guys have lots of like somewhat cards that are reversed, but then I'm feeling that they don't feel right in reverse, so I'm putting them upright. So I wonder if you guys are doing a lot of that kind of stuff where it's like you're setting your energy upright. You know, it's like maybe you've been kind of in reverse for a little while, but now it's actually like, okay, you're kind of fixing that, because I did get the Chariot from the Biddy Tarot, and then I do also have action here. So this is just acknowledging to me that this is busy energy, that you are moving forward. You do have a lot that's happening. This is card number 15, which in numerology sums to a 6. So that is about balancing energies, giving energy and receiving energy. You know, the Chariot is all about movement, travel, moving forward. So I see you guys like meeting, kind of like moving and shaking and meeting and talking to lots of different people. You know, I picked this pile and I was at this gem show recently and it was like all about that, you know. So this is like just like the energy of movement here, okay? And then we have allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. And like I said, and this is card number 9, right, which is a karmic card, and oftentimes is the last of, kind of like the last of energy of a cycle before we get back to 1. So that might be why we're also getting some kind of like flip-flop, like some reversal, some upright, changing that, because you guys are doing kind of like, you know, it's kind of like a final cleanup before you move out kind of thing, you know, or just like fixing a lot of stuff so that you can be confident to move forward. Because I did get this in reverse, but then I felt called to put it upright, I'm feeling that this is something you're working on, is just like allowing this flow, allowing yourself to surrender to like divine timing and the divine flow of what's meant to be. And then cleanse your energy, African Violet. So when you release negativity, the answer to your question shines through. And again, this was reversed, but I felt called to put it upright. So I think that you guys are coming out of a phase in which maybe you were a lot more cynical, a lot more negative about things. You felt very blocked, like you weren't in communion with God, Sophia, the universe, to kind of get answers. But I do see you guys changing that now. You know, you're really understanding the art of surrender and clearing your energy, you know. And a lot of times too, when we are shifting from a phase of more, not so much inaction, because I think the people that pick this pile have also been doing just a lot of like emotional healing work, which is its own form of work, but it's more internal and kind of behind the scenes. But when we shift our work from more like behind the scenes, emotional, internal, to work where we're commingling with others, it can be a little bit like, whoop, you know, like I don't get out much kind of thing. And like, this is a lot for me. So I know for me, even though I had so much fun at the gem show and it was a pleasurable experience, it was still a lot of energy, and I had to come home and shower and salt scrub each night that I was there. So, you know, it's still a lot of energy to be absorbing and moving through you, right? So I think it's important for you guys to pick this pile to understand that even though things are moving ahead, it's like, don't forget about your spiritual routines that help you detox energies that maybe like you don't want to stay with you for longer than it was necessary for, or just like understand that you do need the energy to, at the same time that you're moving forward, it's also important you don't lose sight of keeping your auric field clear, okay? And then we do have temperance here also from Biddy Tarot. So this tells me that, you know, this is a card about mixing different types of energies that are kind of like opposite energies together, and patience as well. So I think this is, again, just really referencing how you guys are shifting the energy. It's like it was like this and you're making it like this. And this is practice for you. This is work. This is you taking it water from one cup and pouring it into another cup and then back and forth. You're learning how to do that, you know. I went through something this week with the gem show where the first day that I went was an absolute disaster. It was very stressful, not good. And I almost gave up. And then the next day I didn't even know if it was going to work out to even go at all. And I just completely had to surrender to God, Sophia, and be like, okay, I'm just going to surrender. I'm going to come prepared to make adjustments based on what was wrong yesterday, but I'm also going to just surrender this to you. And it actually worked out so beautifully. And then I was able to go back the next day, and there were still like a couple things being worked out, but was able to talk to other people that went through a similar journey where they were really frustrated and stressed about what happened the first day, and then they had to decide if they were going to come back, you know. So it was interesting to see that my journey also paralleled other people's journey. So sometimes we're also going through these phases of like shifting our energy and surrender and understanding how to cleanse our energy and allow in more energy. We're all going through these themes together, right? So talking to people and befriending people can also help us to understand that. So you have a house spell here, and this is the housewarming spell. When you or a friend move into a new home, place a wreath on the front and back doors. Gather 2 bundles of dried hops or eucalyptus. Tie them with green and brown ribbons and hang them high on the doors. Walk through each door with a brown candle in a glass votive jar and aromatic cinnamon incense. Intone, home of my body, I accept your shelter. Home of my heart, I receive your blessings. Home of my heart, I am open to joy, and so it is, and so it shall be. The people that make this deck, they are from Australia, so that might be why they're also suggesting dried hops or eucalyptus. I feel like in America, we might not use those as much. So as you feel called, feel free to substitute in something else there. You might want to use like a sprig of evergreen tree perhaps, and maybe you could also do like some sage and some lavender, especially if you do have an herb garden. You could pick those lovingly and then bundle them together and then use that as kind of your green piece as you're also using the candle magic. And so the colors here with the candle magic, we have greens, we have browns. So this is about the heart chakra. Brown is associated with the root chakra. So you guys are doing some heart healing work, but also some root chakra at the same time. And I'm just getting that sense that you're understanding how to get back into the world again. You know, you're understanding how to communicate with people and become more active, become more social again. I think that's a big part of things you're doing now, you know. And then we have black elder from the wisdom of the trees. So let's see what we have for that. Interesting. So the other card was from the same subsection in this deck, and it says, trust in the abundance of the world around you. I'm going to hold this up while I share this with you guys. Concentrate on everything that you want to attract into your life, feeling and thinking as though you already have it. Give thanks for your many blessings. And it says the black elder tree is traditionally associated with the white goddess who brought benevolence and healing. So elder trees were commonly planted in gardens and on farmland to bring good fortune and protection. Later traditions contradicted this, saying that the tree was malign because, and this goes into some other things here. The tree has many medicinal properties. Elderflower tea is excellent for treating nasal and sinus problems, and a hot cup of the berries has it says a hot decoction. So I'm assuming that's like steeping the berries and making a tea of them, has antiviral properties. And it says, Black Elder Deva message. I have ancient powers and can bring you abundance and protection. My flowers bring you refreshment in the hot summer, and my berries give you sustenance in the autumn. If you honor me, I will send you many blessings. So beautiful. So what I take from that for you guys is you're learning how to trust in your own ability to manifest. You're understanding, because there was a lot of messages there about not just like, you know, at this time of year abundance, but just year round, how to cultivate that form of abundance, right? And how to be versatile, how to create new things out of things that maybe were different before. I think you guys are learning how to do that. It's like this master chemist, you know, like understanding, how do I create what I want? How do I mix different things together to create what I want? So really love the energy for the people that picked this pile. And I think that you guys are doing great work. There's definitely some tips here in this pile for you to pay attention to kind of make that work more streamlined. So I would re-listen to this message as you feel called, or if you felt called to listen to another pile, check that pile out as well. So if you enjoyed that message for you, pile 2 peeps, I would love it if you can give this video a like. Please leave a comment. Let me know how this was for you, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much. All right, pile 3 peeps, let's see what cards we've got for you. We have Egg Moon Trust, number 32. We have an altar spell and an everyday spell. Check those out in a bit. We have Magnify Your Intentions, Baby's Breath. We have, and we also have the Divine Masculine, number 22. Let's also pull, I'm going to pull a Biddy Tarot card for you guys. This is the Everyday Tarot deck by Biddy Tarot. Okay, so interestingly, that card landed sideways, which is my sign for a challenge or block. And we also have another card here landing sideways as well. So let's see what we get. Okay, then we've got one here upright. I'll come back to that in a second. All right, and then I'm also going to pull from Wisdom of the Trees Oracle, and we're just going to do one card there. Okay, we got Baobab, and this did come up in reverse. So we will see as we get to that, how that applies. All right, so do a little bit of rearranging here. All right, so we have a lot of different energies here, you guys. First of all, I'm wondering if the people that pick this pile are trying to manifest love, or possibly a revamped, upgraded, better version of their relationship, right? Like new love in all forms. So if you're not, you know, if you're looking for someone, this is new love straight up. But if you're with someone and you want to upgrade that relationship or make it better or healed in some way, that could also be a form of new love, right? Because you guys have the Two of Cups here, which is about love and two energies coming together emotionally. You do have Magnify Your Intentions, Baby's Breath. Choose a specific goal to work towards. Your energy is spread out amongst too many ideas. Interesting, we had another card from another pile that had that message as well. So you might be people that benefit from listening to more than one pile. And it says, please bring your focus back to the key intention and let your angels help. So, and then we have Divine Masculine here. The frequency of Divine Masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So what I'm feeling is that if you're someone who's looking for a way to enhance or upgrade your relationship if it already exists, I'm wondering if you guys have kind of lost the focus of why you're even together. It's sort of like you might be split energetically between like, oh yeah, well, we have this function together or this purpose together, or we have this reason that we're together, but like you might have lost like your mission about why you're together as a couple. So I think that you need to do some work on just like intention setting. You know, what is the day, the week, the month you want to create with your partner? What would be the focus of that? You guys need to start getting more focused on what this relationship actually is about, what it provides to you, why you're in it. I think getting really clear about your intentions with the relationship is going to help you out. Part of that could be too, with this divine masculine card, having a structure, right? So creating date nights, creating times in which you guys, you know, cuddle together or spend quality time together. With this divine masculine card, it's about bringing in that structure. Another message with this too can be that it's important for us to understand that yes, when two souls come together, they do create a synergy of divine masculine and divine feminine harmony, regardless of sexual orientation or gender. Those archetypes of energies, divine masculine and divine feminine, they exist in all of us. Sometimes though, what people forget is that they kind of will like default put the divine masculine energy to the person in the relationship that maybe has more of that, and then the divine feminine to the person that has more of that. But what they forget is that we also have those two energies in and of ourselves. So we have to be working on balancing our own divine masculine and divine feminine in ourselves in order to show up better in the relationship and in fact in the world with society as a whole, right? So we have to also be monitoring ourselves. Are we too much in our own personal divine feminine, or are we too much in our own divine masculine, right? And understanding like, do I need to be softer? Do I need to invite in more fluidity, more femininity? Am I too aggressive? Am I too like, you know? Or am I too structured, too orderly, too logical? I'm trying to force things, you know, and well, I kind of just said both. So let's flip that. If you're too in your divine feminine, you're very receptive to creative ideas and ease and flow, but you have difficulty applying yourself to get things done. So you need more structure. You need to create more of a schedule. You need to kind of get up a little bit off the couch or off the bed, or apply yourself better to actually follow through with those things, right? So you'll know as you're listening to this, where are you aligning? And it's important for you to do that work on yourself so you can show up better in the relationship, okay? We have, in the challenge position, we have 8 of Wands, which is, I love this card. This is about like a flurry of activity and sudden movement. But then we also have the Hermit. So because these cards came up sideways for me in this spread, which is my sign for just like challenge energy, what I'm thinking and feeling is that you guys are almost doing like flip-flopping of your energy. I feel like sometimes you're very active. You're very like, yes, let's do it. Let's schedule the date night. Let's, you know, even if this is just you balancing your divine masculine and divine feminine, you're like, yes, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be like, ooh, you know, and then you stop and you go back and you retreat. And it's like, you kind of go back and crawl inwards and you stop. So I think the block here for people that pick this pile is around, in some ways, consistency, right? So finding a way for you to have forward movement, but not so much that it's like you overly push and exert yourself such that you have to retreat back into like a shell because you push yourself so hard. So finding the right balance, right? So, and I'll just be straight up, like this takes time to cultivate. I'm a Virgo with a Libra moon and a Libra ascendant. So emotionally, it's extremely important for me to have balance in my life. And I am one of those people I'm just able to very quickly spot when something is off balance and I adjust it quickly. And what I found is that if I don't adjust it quickly, it like gnaws at me and it will snowball. So the quicker I adjust it, even ideally within 24 hours, the better. And I found that also working every day, daily, on activities that can help me balance and help offset other energies is also really important. So I think that the people that pick this pile, you might also be struggling with this Mars retro, you know, and you might have some feels, some needs to really just kind of work on rebalancing yourself here, you know, so that you can show up better in the relationship. We have egg moon trust. So I think part of this, it's like you're a little bit afraid or concerned that you can't do this, that you can't master this level of balance, but you absolutely can. You know, you have protection around you that is supporting that here. You have blessing meditation. This is an altar spell, and it says, sit in a comfortable position in front of your serenity altar and meditate. You can't make this stuff up. Think about your blessings. What are you grateful for at this moment? There's a powerful magic in recognizing all that you possess. Breathe steadily and deeply, inhaling and exhaling slowly for 20 minutes. Then chant, great goddess, giver of all the fruits of this earth, of all bounty, beauty, and well-being. Bless all who give and receive these gifts. I am made of sacred earth, purest water, sacred fire, and wildest wind. Blessing upon me, blessing upon thee, Mother Earth and Sister Sky, so mote it be. So it's almost like you guys need to set up an altar, literally, you know, where you can go and you can meditate there, or you can practice gratitude there, you know, and I think that that's really maybe something you don't have in place yet, and you need to work at creating that. And then elemental magic earth. If you are something of a gardener, you can symbolically plant transformation into your life. Take a handful of beans from your pantry or a seed package and empower them by placing them on your altar during the light of the waning moon. Waning would be after the full moon. So actually the cycle we're in right now is a waning moon cycle. Plant them after you have prayed. I plant these seeds of fortune and change as they grow. Good luck, for all will rise and flow. From the soil comes all bounty, as we know. So yeah, I think that this is, again, kind of a card about intention setting. So these spell cards to me are affirming that you need to kind of set up an altar where you can go for like serene, peaceful space where you can practice gratitude and peace. And then also working on potentially the earth element here. So grounding scattered energies and really understanding what is it I'm transforming. It's a lot easier for us to transform like one thing about a relationship, or even just like one area of our life. We can transform that. Then the energy that we build from that then starts to positively aspect the other areas of our life. And then we can kind of say, okay, I built this and now I see it's over here. And now this is building and that's going over here, right? So, but we can't get there if we're like too focused, right? So I'm thinking about even my own life. I've definitely done this work where I said, okay, I'm going to create structure and I'm going to create a container of mindfulness around this thing so I can become more empowered with it. And then I've also noticed that I have an urge that's related to that started blossoming over here. And as I put work into that, that then feeds another urge, right? So it's sort of like one thing leads to another, which leads to another. But if you had told me that all three things would be there, like before I started, I wouldn't have believed you, you know? So that's kind of how you can do it. And we have trust. So you guys really, you can do this, you know, you're supported to be able to do this. And then we have the baobab tree, and this is in reverse. So let's look at what this card has to say here in the Wisdom of the Trees book. We've got baobab, and it says, when it's in reverse, there is no need to feel lost or alone, or to believe that every day is a battle for survival. Don't make life harder for yourself by dwelling on things that are negative or which depress you. Stay focused and optimistic. So, and then it says here, the life-saving qualities of the baobab give it great spiritual significance in Africa and Australia, and it is believed to be the gateway to the afterlife. It can live for up to 3,000 years before rotting from the inside and collapsing. 3,000 years, crazy. Its edible seeds are high in vitamin C, calcium, and protein, and are a valuable food. It says, Baobab Deva message, I am known as the tree of life because I can help people to survive the harshest living conditions. Whenever you call on me, I will give you emotional strength and spiritual sustenance so that you can cope with whatever life brings you. Let's do a... I'm still learning how to do this. I'm wondering if I manifested that just to break up some of the tension of this pile because it was getting real heavy and serious, and that definitely lightened up the mood. But so I think for you guys, it's like you might be stressing, you might be taking life really seriously and really having difficulty accessing the fact that there's an abundance and there's a harvest and a life force energy that's out there that you can tap into to make things flow better, make things easier. I do think you guys are potentially even just afraid or scared. You might feel very much in a shell here where it's like, I don't know, you know, and I think it's just like you guys, your medicine is to work on focusing that scattered energy into manifesting a specific area, you know, and really coming up with a way to be consistent. So it's like you don't have to push all of these arrows at the same time, and then it's like, whoa, I'm so exhausted, I need to retreat back in my hole. You're going to learn how to just shoot like 1 or 2 arrows at a time so you can maintain that energy. And also with the Mars retrograde, it's a lot about that, because the Mars retro in Aries, you know, he's learning how to not overexert himself, how to pick and choose battles. These are huge themes about this Mars retrograde. So if you're going through that, you're not alone, okay? Because a lot of people are going through this with this Mars retrograde, learning, you know, that sometimes not every battle is meant to be fought, and also that like you don't have to overexert yourself, and especially tempering like that anger, because the anger, it's important to acknowledge your feelings, but it's like the anger can like flood you, and then you can say things that you regret, or just like, you know, there can be negative consequences that can come up from that level of anger, and then it's hard to kind of do damage control after that, right? But if you yourself are practicing that balance and that peace, that's going to help dial it back or temper you a bit when that comes forward. And especially because this pick a card, again, this is all my pick a cards are always timeless. So if you're listening to it at a time other than the, you know, the lunar cycle from the full moon in Aries, it's totally cool if you're not. But especially as we're integrating this energy, this Aries energy for the next 2 weeks, it is going to be about understanding how to temper that Aries energy with the Libran energy, and understanding how to practice and embody balance, right? So it's all good. So I hope that you guys, I'm gonna hold my little pumpkin organite. And for example, like I have really strong Libra energy. I do have some strong Aries energy in my chart. But today I've got like red leggings on, I'm wearing a red dress, I had red soup today. I was like, yeah, I want some red energy. You know, I'm wearing my Mexican fire opal. So, you know, use your intuition. Do you feel called? But then a couple days ago, before the full moon in Aries, I was like almost head to toe in blue, you know, blue dress, lapis lazuli, like throat chakra vibes, and real strong blue watery energy. So use your intuition, like what medicine do you need, which chakra is most right for you today, you know, and just take it one day at a time. So if you liked this video, I would love it if you guys can like this video, leave a comment below, let me know how this was for you. I love when people leave comments so I can know that they're watching and receiving and just how it resonated with them. I love to see you guys in the comments. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Please also share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it and think that someone would value or enjoy it. That also helps my business a ton. And feel free to also subscribe to my email newsletter. They go out twice a month, and they're basically kind of like update emails in a way of the latest content I've done on my blog and on my YouTube, and they're super fun, super loving. And I do also advertise sales or contests that I'm doing in those emails, so highly recommend that you sign up for it so you're clued into the latest and what's going on there. So sending you love, pile number 3 peeps. And if you watched all 3 of these videos, or if you stuck with me through this entire video, thank you so much. I'm sending you so much fairy kisses and love, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next pick a card video, potentially in a Facebook Live. So make sure you also like my Facebook business page. Bye-bye.